By the end of this lesson, you'll know why anger arises, how Stoic men like Marcus, Seneca, and Epictetus viewed it, and why peace and tranquility are within your control. Let's begin. What is Stoicism? Stoicism is not philosophy for philosophers. It's a toolkit for kings. It was born in ancient Greece, practiced by men like Epictetus, who himself was a slave turned sage, Marcus Aurelius, emperor of Rome, and Seneca, advisor and writer. They taught that life begins to flourish when reason guides your decisions, not emotion. Stoicism asks, what can I control? Not why is this happening to me? This is the foundation of all power. Imagine someone is standing in a crowded subway train when another passenger accidentally bumps into them. The immediate physical event is neutral, simply a minor jostle that could happen to anyone. However, the emotional response depends entirely on how one interprets the event. If the person thinks, that was intentional, people are so rude, they might feel angry or upset. If they assume, it's crowded and accidents happen, it's not personal, they can remain calm and unbothered. Epictetus's message is clear here. The emotional upset doesn't come from the actual bump, but from how it's judged. Choosing a more charitable or neutral interpretation can change the entire experience, reinforcing the idea that it's our judgment, not the event itself, that shapes our reaction. Common myths versus reality. A myth. Stoics are emotionless and cold people. Truth. Stoicism is not about suppression, it is about transformation. Anger is not your strength, it is destructive madness. A madness, Seneca said, shatters what it touches. Imagine two close friends or romantic partners having a disagreement. One person becomes angry and lashes out with harsh words or accusations. This outburst can deeply hurt the other person, damaging trust and emotional safety. Instead of resolving the issue, the anger escalates the conflict, leading to a shouting match or even days of silence and resentment. Over time, repeated anger-driven episodes erode the bond, causing emotional distance or even a breakup. The anger, far from being a sign of strength, fractures the relationship and the mutual respect they once shared. Seneca's point shines here. Anger in relationships is a madness that shatters connection and understanding. Choosing patience, calm dialogue, and empathy preserves the relationship, whereas giving into anger causes lasting damage. If someone insults you, know this. It's not their words, but your opinion that fuels your fire. Epictetus taught, it is not things that upset us, but our judgments about them. This small truth can flip your world. Why we get angry and the facing the uncontrollable. Why does anger appear? Because we believe we should control the uncontrollable. Other people's words, other people's actions, random events. We crave respect, fairness, and control, yet these rarely arrive. And so we're triggered. Stoics say, expecting fairness from the indifferent world is madness. Instead, they anchor their peace by accepting that only their actions, reactions, and values are truly theirs. You've been working hard for months and truly believe you deserve a promotion. When the promotion goes to someone else, you feel angry and upset. Your immediate thought might be, it's not fair, they don't deserve it, I should have been recognized. This anger arises because you are trying to control or demand fairness from external circumstances, your boss's decision, company politics, or other people's judgments, all of which are largely outside your control. You want respect and fairness to be guaranteed, but reality often doesn't meet these expectations. The Stoic takeaway is to recognize that getting angry over what you cannot control is madness. Instead, you anchor your peace by accepting that while you cannot control promotions or others' opinions, you can control your own actions, work ethic, and response. You might choose to continue doing your best, regardless of recognition. Use the feedback, if any, constructively. Recalibrate your expectations about fairness as something external and indifferent. Dichotomy of control and daily reflection. Epictetus. Some things are within our control and others are not. That dichotomy is your fortress. Practice this with a morning reflection. Today, I will encounter selfish, rude, or unreasonable people. I will not allow them to disturb my peace. Spend 5 minutes writing this down, then carry it as your armor. Pause, breathe, and dialogues with the mind. When annoyance surges, pause, stop, breathe. Breathe in for 4 counts, hold. Breathe out for 4. Ask yourself, does this matter in a day, a year, after I'm gone? This question deflates the moment's power. Because peace, it's always the reward of self-control. Imagine you're in a high-stakes business negotiation, where the other party unexpectedly pushes back hard on key terms, making demands you find unreasonable. Your initial reaction might be annoyance, frustration, or even anger rising, emotions that could cloud your judgment and provoke a hasty or harsh response. At that moment, instead of reacting immediately, you consciously pause the conversation. You stop, take a deep breath in for 4 counts, hold briefly, and breathe out for 4 counts. This breathing practice helps calm your nerves and clear your mind. Then you ask yourself, does this disagreement really matter in a day? Likely no. It is just a moment in the negotiation. Will it matter in a year? Possibly not, since this is just one point in ongoing business relations. Will it matter after I'm gone? Almost certainly not, as larger business goals and relationships transcend this single interaction. This reflection deflates the power of the surge of annoyance. With peace and self-control reinforced, you can respond thoughtfully, perhaps by calmly asking for clarification, proposing alternatives, or taking time to reconsider instead of reacting emotionally. By managing your own emotional response, you improve your negotiation effectiveness, keep the dialogue constructive, and increase the chance of a positive outcome, demonstrating the crucial reward of self-control in tense situations. If you're following so far, comment "peace" to claim your calm. Tap like if you believe you don't owe your peace to anyone. The warrior returns to his throne. You made it through a deep walk through the gates of Stoic philosophy. You've seen the roots of anger. You've learned about the dichotomy of control. You've tasted the peace that begins when we stop demanding. The world obeys our emotions. Now, we go deeper. This is not just about avoiding irritation. This is about becoming what Marcus Aurelius called a man of the city, someone who can walk through madness and remain unmoved. After this section, you will walk with calm in chaos. You will know the inner practices that kings and generals used for self-mastery. And you will be armed with rituals, with journal prompts, with spiritual technologies. Not hype, habits. Let us begin. Tool number 1. The power of the pause. Let's start with one of the most formidable weapons in the arsenal of the Stoic. The pause. When you feel the heat rising in your chest, when someone insults you, when the driver cuts you off, the weak man reacts, the wise man pauses. Seneca said, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay." And so, I invite you, next time frustration strikes, pause for just 3 seconds. That's it. 1, 2, 3. And in that sacred pause, ask, what would the king in me do right now? Not the beast, not the boy, but the king. And if it's not worthy of a king, it's not worthy of your energy. Tool number 2, premeditatio malorum, prepare for the storm. Next, we learn a practice the Stoics called premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. It sounds dark, but it's divine. Every morning, visualize the annoyances you may face. Your coworker is being rude. Your girlfriend misunderstands you. Your business partner is delaying again. Your crypto and stock portfolio swinging. People talking bad about you. And instead of resisting it, embrace it, expect it, absorb it in advance. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "When you wake up, prepare your mind to meet traitors, envious men, and selfish people. That way you won't be surprised. You'll be ready." This mental rehearsal doesn't make you paranoid, it makes you peaceful. When the trouble comes, it finds a man already dressed for war, not angry, not reactive, but ready. Tool number 3, reframe or be ruled. Here's a secret most men never learn. What happens to you is not nearly as powerful as what you say about it. The Stoics mastered what we now call cognitive reframing. If someone insults you, ask, is this a personal attack? Or is this a test of my emotional strength? If your plan fails, ask, is this the end of the road? Or is this a lesson that levels me up? When you learn to change the frame, you change the feeling. So here's your mantra. This is not happening to me. It's happening for me. Everything sharpens you or softens you. You choose. Tool number 4, judgment is the enemy. The next tool is subtle, but it's powerful. It's this: judge less, understand more. Every time you judge another man's action, you set a trap for yourself. You assume they know better. You expect them to act according to your virtues, but they don't. They act according to their story. Epictetus said, when you are offended by someone, turn inward and see what part of you is making it a problem. Imagine you call customer service with an issue, and the representative speaks abruptly or seems dismissive. Your initial reaction might be offense or irritation, feeling disrespected or undervalued. But instead of immediately judging them as rude or unprofessional and letting that offense shape your mood, you pause and consider Epictetus's advice. You reflect inwardly. What part of me is reacting so strongly? Am I sensitive to lack of respect because of past experiences or personal insecurities? Maybe the representative is having a bad day, is under stress, or lacks training in communication skills. You understand their behavior likely comes from their own story, stress, pressure from supervisors, or personal challenges, not from any intent to harm you. This understanding doesn't excuse poor behavior, but it prevents you from taking it personally or reacting angrily. You remain calm, ask questions clearly, and seek resolution. In short, judging less and understanding more transforms how you experience conflicts or offenses, aligning with Epictetus's teaching by turning inward to manage your reactions rather than being trapped by expectations of others. This freedom from taking things personally is indeed transformative. Tool number 5, kindness is a weapon. Most men think kindness is weakness, but Marcus Aurelius wrote, kindness is invincible if it is sincere and not faked or acted. Try it. Next time someone raises their voice, lower yours. Next time someone cuts you with words, speak calm truth. This doesn't mean be a doormat, it means master the moment. Use kindness, not as submission, but as strategy. Let the fool show his lack of control. Let the king remain unmoved. Tool number 6. Remember death. Memento mori. You want a nuclear weapon against anger? Here it is. Memento mori. Remember, you will die. Remember, you are mortal. That insult you received, that social media drama, that moment of rage, it will vanish in the sands of time. Seneca said, you are afraid of dying, but you waste your life getting angry. You are dust on a cosmic timeline. Choose what deserves your breath. If it doesn't help you build your empire, protect your family, or grow your soul, it is not worthy of your energy. Let it go. Tool number 7. Respond with indifference. Now this is mastery. When insulted, be indifferent. When ignored, be indifferent. When challenged, be calm. Now let me tell you a story about Jason. Jason works in a fast-paced technology company. During a team meeting, a colleague subtly insults Jason's recent project, saying, well, not everyone can keep up with today's standards, I guess. Later, Jason presents an idea, but the manager quickly moves on, barely acknowledging his input. Near the end of the day, another coworker publicly challenges Jason's proposed workflow during a group chat, trying to bait him into an argument. Instead of reacting emotionally or defending himself, Jason remembers, you always have the power to not have an opinion. He chooses to remain calm and indifferent. He lets the insult pass, doesn't push for attention when ignored, and doesn't engage in confrontation. Jason focuses his energy on his ongoing tasks, keeps delivering quality work, and treats everyone respectfully. His steady, composed approach eventually earns him quiet respect from those who value professionalism. You always have the power to not have an opinion. Marcus Aurelius. Think about that. You don't have to react. You don't have to post a reply. You don't have to argue. You can shrug and stay focused. Indifference is not weakness. It's sovereignty. Reflection. What kind of man do you want to be? Ask yourself in your journal tonight. What kind of man do I want to be? Under pressure. Do you want to be the man who yells back, who takes offense at every slight, who spends hours stewing over nonsense? Or do you want to be a stoic king, calm, clear, centered? The throne belongs to the man who masters his mood. You can be that man. The advanced discipline of a stoic, turning fire into fuel. By now, you've begun to feel it. The detachment, the clarity, the growing strength of your inner empire. You've learned to pause, to reframe, to observe the anger rather than obey it. But we are not stopping there, because the next level isn't about just avoiding anger. It's about using it. Like a blacksmith who takes fire and turns it into a weapon. Today, we turn your pain, your frustration, your inner fire into greatness. Let's begin. Journaling, the daily weapon of the formidable man. Don't explain your philosophy, embody it. Epictetus. Journaling is not a hobby. It's not self-help fluff. It's war strategy. A stoic king wakes before the world does and writes. He reflects on what could go wrong, what went wrong, and how he must respond. Each morning, ask yourself, what temptations or distractions will I face today? How can I prepare to respond like a king, not a child? And each night, where did I lose my peace? What did I learn from it? How will I adjust tomorrow? This is how you become unshakable, not by chance, by design. The view from above, rulership over emotions. Imagine rising above your life, looking down at yourself from the clouds, your city, your house, your daily arguments, your traffic jams, even your enemies. From this distance, what mattered so much suddenly seems small. This practice, used by ancient Stoics, is called the view from above. How ridiculous and how strange to be surprised at anything which happens in life. Marcus Aurelius. From above, you begin to laugh at the things that used to own you. That rude text, that person who disrespected you. They are nothing but specks on a map. Your soul was made for eternity. Do not sell it cheaply. Difficult people are your personal trainers. Anger isn't just a threat. It's a test, and every person who annoys you is your training ground. When you are offended at any man's fault, turn to yourself and study your own failings. Epictetus. Imagine this. A man insults you in public. You want to strike, but you remember, this is the gym. This is training. You breathe, you smile, you nod. He has no power over you, not because you're weak, but because you've mastered yourself. Max works in an office where his colleague Tom frequently interrupts and dismisses his ideas, causing frustration. Instead of reacting angrily, Max sees this as a chance to practice patience and assertiveness. When interrupted, Max takes a deep breath and, calmly but firmly, Max says, "Tom, I'd like to finish my point, then I'm happy to hear your thoughts." By responding with composure, Max not only gains Tom's respect over time, but also builds better self-regulation and communication skills. The challenging colleague becomes a catalyst for Max's personal and professional growth. Gratitude. The king's armor. What is the fastest way to kill anger? Gratitude. When your mind is flooded with thanks, there's no room for bitterness. Try this every time you're provoked. Say, out loud if you must, "Thank you for this test. I am training to be stronger." Then list 3 things you are grateful for: your health, your family, your mission, your purpose. Gratitude lifts your mind like wings. It's hard to stay mad when you realize you're blessed. Anger makes you a victim. Gratitude reminds you, you are a king. What makes a man formidable? It's not muscle, Not money, not status. It's this: emotional mastery, the ability to hold your frame when the world shakes, to rule yourself when chaos reigns. That's the throne every man must first sit on, his own soul. And to claim that throne, you must ask, do I control my mind, or does my mind control me? Can I endure disrespect, failure, betrayal, and still move forward in calm confidence? The formidable man isn't cold. He's clear. He doesn't shout. He speaks with authority. He doesn't break down. He builds up. That is what you're becoming. A ruler, not a reactor. Case study: Marcus Aurelius, Empire in his mind. Let me tell you a story. Marcus Aurelius ruled the greatest empire on earth. He faced constant war, betrayal from his closest allies, a deadly plague, even his own children turning against him. But every morning, he wrote in his journal, not for the world, but for himself, I have the power to not let anger rule me. He reminded himself that insults, attacks, losses, these were expected. He didn't demand an easy life. He trained for a hard one. That's why we still remember him. Not because of his army, but because he ruled his mind. Do you? The Stoic warrior versus the distracted man. You've seen him, the modern man, scrolling endlessly, triggered by everything, tired, angry, jealous, weak. He chases validation on screens, while his real kingdom rots. Compare him to the Stoic warrior, silent, focused, unbothered. He rises early, he trains his body, he trains his mind, he invests wisely, speaks with purpose. He thinks before reacting. He is building something, a family, a legacy, an empire. Which one are you becoming? Ben is a young professional, constantly glued to his smartphone, scrolling through social media feeds late into the night. He often feels exhausted, irritable, and anxious, triggered by online debates and comparisons with others. His attention is fragmented, and he struggles to make meaningful progress toward his goals. Meanwhile, his personal relationships and health are neglected, like his real kingdom quietly deteriorating. On the other hand, his friend Alex embodies the Stoic warrior mindset. Alex wakes at dawn, starts his day with physical training, and spends time in quiet reflection or journaling. He approaches his work with deliberate focus, avoids reacting impulsively to distractions, and invests his resources, time, energy, money, wisely toward long-term goals. Alex prioritizes building a strong family foundation, cultivating character, and contributing to enduring legacies beyond fleeting digital approval. While Ben's world is reactive and drained by constant external stimuli, Alex's life is centered on self-mastery and purposeful creation. This contrast asks each of us, are you becoming the distracted man chasing validation, or the Stoic warrior building your lasting kingdom? From reaction to rulership. 5. Closing habits. Let's anchor this session with 5 daily habits. Morning Stoic meditation. Remind yourself, I control my reactions. 1-minute pause. Before every emotional response, wait, breathe, respond later. Nightly journaling. Reflect, record, refine. You're building a better you. Mental rehearsal. Visualize people testing you and how you'll remain calm. Speak less, observe more. Power lives in restraint. The less you react, the more you rule. You are no longer a man ruled by anger. You have learned to use it, to train with it, to transcend it. Because you weren't born to react, you were born to rule. Like, share, and subscribe for more ancient wisdom for modern mastery. Comment below how you're building your kingdom. Let's rule together.